Samsung's got a new smartwatch, and this time, it looks like they've got it right. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and welcome to GadgetMatch. Today, we go hands-on with the brand new Samsung Gear S2. When it comes to smartwatches, Samsung is no newbie. They have been making them since 2013, and you've got to give them credit. They released tons of models before the Apple Watch even came around. All these models have been more or less experiments, not hugely successful, but I think with the new Gear S2, the Samsung smartwatch has finally come of age. So the Gear S2 is available in two designs. You have the regular or the standard Gear S2 over here, and this one they're calling the Classic. The main difference between both models are, of course, as you can see, the bezel around the clock face and the type of strap used. The strap on the standard model is made up of a material called elastomer plastic. It's lightweight and actually feels like you're wearing one of those Swatch watches. While the strap on the Classic is genuine leather, it comes in either black or, as you can see here, brown. Samsung says it should be compatible with any standard size 20 watch strap. The watch faces are also different. On the standard model, you have clean lines, while the Classic, as its name implies, has a more chronograph-looking classic bezel. In terms of button placements, you have only two. Up here, you have the back button, and down here, the home button. The back of both watches looks like this, and as you can see this over here, let me try and activate it. That is the heart rate monitor. On the leather model, you remove the straps by pulling down on this tab over here. To remove the strap on the base model, you just pull like this. And as you can see, that was pretty easy to take out, and to put it back in, you just have to pop it back in place like that. So this is what the interface of the Gear S2 looks like. This is the home screen. One swipe to the right brings up the menu where you can access apps, S-Voice, settings, and Buddy. Another swipe brings out widgets like a step counter, schedule, the weather, music player, heart rate monitor, and a host of fitness metrics, calendar. Now, this one is pretty cool. You can tally how much water and coffee you've had on a particular day. So, for example, let's say you've had 2 cups of coffee and 5 cups of water. You can add an alarm, and you can also add other widgets from the following options. Now, let's go home. You just press the button over here. A swipe to the right brings out notifications like emails, text messages, and if you had missed calls, they would appear there as well. On the Gear S2, Samsung introduces a new way to navigate on the smartwatch. Apart from the normal gestures, for example, swiping and tapping, the bezel can be rotated in both directions, like this. Now, how does it feel? There's not a lot of friction, just enough actually to get some tactile feedback, but just enough that I can smoothly rotate the bezel lightly with one finger. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the app list. Let's tap on that. There is weather, S-Voice, schedule, settings, running. This is Nike Plus integration actually. S-Health, phone, messages. Now, if you want to see more apps, you just scroll back the other way, and then let's tap on next page over here in the middle. And then this is another page. You can go ahead and tap until you reach the end of your app list. Speaking of apps, let's take a look at some of them. This one is familiar. It's Uber. Let's go ahead and tap that to launch. Now, it's very easy. You can basically initially just select what kind of Uber you want to pick. I want to take an Uber Black. That's my location. Let's check. And let's just skip the destination. Okay, it's requesting. And there you go. I have an Uber 5 minutes away. Now, the rotating bezel can also be used to scroll through text. So over here, we actually have an unread email from the Walt Disney Company. So let me go ahead and tap into that. And now, by rotating the bezel, I am actually scrolling through the entire email. Dear G10, your subscription to review, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, and you can just read the entire email and scroll through the entire thing just by rotating your bezel. If you take a look, there is no micro USB port on any side of the device. That's because the Gear 2 uses wireless charging. You just plop it down onto its bundled charging dock. The watch snaps in magnetically. Both variants are available in a 3G version, but there is no SIM card tray. Instead, it has a built-in eChip that needs to be activated by your respective carrier. Now, whether or not you have the 3G version or you're just paired to a smartphone, you can use a smartwatch to send and receive text messages. Now, I have a text message from Alyssa over here. Let's go ahead and tap to see what she said. Okay, see you, let me know if you need me to bring anything. Now, I can reply in one of three ways. So I can either use voice to dictate my reply. I can select an emoji. Maybe that smile over there is pretty cute. And of course, I'm not connected, so right now it's sending fail. Or I can bring up a keyboard, an actual keyboard. So that's my message input area. And then by tapping into it, it brings up the keyboard. Now, it's reminiscent of those numpads on those candy bar smartphones, but it has autocomplete, and it'll figure out what you're typing. So I can just type the first letter, predictive input, I think it's called, thanks, and then click done. And as you can see, I can go ahead and try and send that. Of course, it's not connected, so I will get another error message, but you get the picture. The last thing I want to show you is the settings menu. So let's rotate our bezel, tap into settings. So you see display settings, general settings, vibration settings is pretty interesting. You can actually change the intensity of the vibration from strong to weak to none at all. And when you tap on a selection, it'll actually give you a sample. It'll actually vibrate a little so you can see the difference. Now, just for a bit of review, this is the home button. This is the back button. So if you want to just go back one step, just tap the back button. And let's tap it again to go back to our settings menu. There are call settings. Connection settings is also interesting. You can connect via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or NFC. Let's go back. Screen lock, input. And then I want to show you power settings. If you're familiar with ultra power saving mode on Samsung's lineup of smartphones, this is similar. If you tap into power settings, it will ask you to activate power saving mode. And what it does is it will give you a home screen that is grayscale, and it will turn off all functions except for calls, messages, and notifications. So Wi-Fi is turned off, and it limits performance, but it also saves your battery or the battery life of your device. So let me go ahead and try that. Let's tap check. It's turning on power saving mode. And as you recall earlier, I had a red clock face. Now it's just a black and white clock face. And I really can't go anywhere except to see my notifications. And this is how the home screen looks like. And I basically have access to calls and my messages. And as you can see, I have 28% battery life. Oh, and then over here, just by tapping on here, you can turn power saving off. And then we should get back to our colored home screen. And there you go. And that was a thorough hands-on look at the new Gear S2 from Samsung. You have the Gear S2 and the Gear S2 Classic over here. If you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. We have more coming from IFA 2015, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow GadgetMatch elsewhere on social media. If you have any questions or requests, leave them in the comments section below. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.